Hello everyone, it's Laura here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm gonna show you how to make a creepy pop-up box using stamps from the Craftin Desert Divas September 2017 release. This is actually my second installment in my Halloween 2017 card making series, so if we get to 3 I think I can actually call it a series. Anyway, to start off this card I colored these fun little zombies using my Spectrum Noir markers. I really love these images. I think they're really unique and really fun. I am totally in love with the style, so I really wanted to feature them in a video on my channel. I am coloring the images as if my light source comes from the top left corner, so that the shadows will be mostly focused on the bottom right corner. Of course, I'm also taking care of cast shadows, which are shadows that are projected by objects that stand in front of other objects. But the coloring is pretty simple. I am trying to use desaturated colors because these are zombies and I wanted to, give this feel of dead bodies and worn out clothes and maybe dirty from, I don't think zombies really change or shower. So that's the reason behind my color choice for this video. I actually colored 2 images for this project, but I think I'll just show you the coloring for this one because the coloring is not really fancy and I used actually the same colors on the 2 images, so I didn't think I'd have to bore you too much with this. So I'll put on some music and I'll come back when it's time to assemble the pop-up box. And this is how the images look when they're all colored up. I think they're really fun. I really love these zombies. I think they're a must-have, honestly. But anyway, I used the pop-up box die. This is also by Craftin Desert Divas to cut some black cardstock. And I also used some accompanying dies in the set to cut these decorative panels, I would call them. And I'm inking them up with Distress Oxides. I used Vintage Photo and Black Soot. And I am creating a little bit of an ombre effect with these 2 colors. I die cut 4 pieces like this, but I'm inking up like this just 3 because the 4th one will be my sky and you'll see that later. Here I wanted to show you that I repeated the same thing for these supporting flaps that you get in the pop-up box die set. And I also trimmed down the ground from the bottom of this zombie on the left because I thought it would be more fun if it was actually sort of crawling out of these supporting flaps. The pop-up box die set also comes with these rectangular dies that I used to die cut these panels. Again, I die cut 4, but I'm showing you just these 2 because, I think it's efficient. And I'm inking them up with vintage photo and black soot. If you're interested in seeing how this pop-up box die works, I actually have a video on my channel that demonstrates how to use it and all the dies that come in the set. So I will link it down below as well as here on screen in case you're interested in watching that. For this 4th panel that I hadn't inked up before, I'm using faded jeans and black soot because I wanted to create a night sky. And I really love the look I got with the distress oxides because they have this kind of more muted feel to them compared to the traditional distress inks, which I think is really nice for Halloween themed cards. It's now time to add the stars. I am using the silver pan from the Ganzai 36 palette. I am activating it with water. I'm picking it up with the brush and then I'm flicking the brush on top of my background sky to create these little splatters that will look like stars. At this point, I have already gone ahead and assembled the pop-up box card. Again, you can refer to my video in case you are interested and curious to know how to do that. It's actually really easy. And now I'm adding all my decorative elements. As you see, I already placed the supporting flaps within the box. I used the sky on the background and now I'm using these panels that I inked up to look like ground on the sides of my pop-up box. And at this point I am adding my zombies. I could have added them to the flaps before attaching the flaps to the pop-up box, but I wanted to do it at this stage so I have a better feel of the composition I get. So as you see, I'm using some liquid glue on the feet, so on the bottom parts of these images, and I am adhering them to the flaps, and I'm patiently waiting for it to dry. I am using this die. This is from the Inside Scalloped Rectangle die set by Craftin Desert Divas to cut a little circle that will be my moon. And I'm inking it up with Distress Oxide in Iced Proofs, trying to get an ombre effect to give some dimension to this die cut. And I can finally adhere to the top left part of the sky, and this is also nice because it kind of matches with where I put the light source of my images, and of course I had planned this all in advance. Anyway, the final pieces of embellishment for the box itself are these rectangular pieces that I'm adhering all around the sides. And I probably should have used dry glue because this liquid glue did warp a little bit the black cardstock, which is not super thick, but I ran out of my funky tape runner, so I have to buy refills and liquid glue is all I had. I wanted to add some bones for some more interest to the sides of the pop-up box, so I took this dinosaur stamp set. This is from a previous release by Craftin Desert Divas, and I quickly colored in these bones using some browns from the Spectrum Noir markers. I fussy cut them with my scissors, as you can see right here. These are the Cutter Bee scissors, and I highly recommend them because they allow you to get very detailed, precise cuts. And I arranged the bones on the sides in a way I found pleasing. And finally, for the sentiment, I used yet another die from the pop-up box die set. It's really a rich one. And I am coloring it with my Spectrum Noir markers. I am trying to use the same colors that I used for the grave in one of the zombie images. And I'm going back and forth until I get the intensity and the blend that I like. At this point, I can go ahead and adhere the last pieces of embellishment, and my pop-up box card is ready. Here you can see the look you get when you close and open it, and I really love the way it turned out. These zombies are so fun. And that's it. That's my card for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it useful. If so, please let me know in the comments below. Leave this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. You can visit my blog for the full list of supplies, and I hope I'll be back soon with another video. Ciao!